My light is spazzing out right here. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And yesterday we didn't have a show. We didn't have any games. I'll just say the day before I did have a lot of action, but my 5% play made it a winning day. Um, so I always love that. 5% was on the dream, and I'm really proud of that play and write up that I had in that game. So I'll pat myself on the back for one time. Vino, it's good to be back with you. How you doing here today?
Yeah, that dream game, it worked out, didn't it, Skee? I had a little piece of that myself with the dream team total over 79 and a half. Just seemed like it was too low. You got to 85. I know you had a number the other day of how many times on the road they've gotten to 85 or better. They did it again. Solid win there. Last night, no WNBA, but I was involved in, believe it or not, the CFL, the Canadian Football League, which I also handicap. And how about this way to win, Skee? I win because a guy returns a missed field
I
goal,
saw that. I saw
117
that.
yards for a touchdown.
The +4, right? Plus four and a half.
Yeah, and there it goes. Win the game, win the team total, win the full game, win everything. So, yeah, so
Nice.
we recommended the team total. It worked out for Ottawa, so we had a 1-0. Look forward to today.
Was that game already over the full game total before that play or no?
It wasn't.
Yeah, that was that. I mean, that changed a lot of tickets right there.
Changed a lot of tickets. Dog winner over winner. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy it went in your favor. I know one of my other good friends. He was so happy. He was texting me, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Why is he so excited?" But then I saw the play, and I was like, "Okay, I get it now."
Looked
But
like we were dead in the water.
that's good stuff there. Shout out to everybody in the chat: Mark, B Man, Titan CT, Kylie, Patrick. Everybody ready to make some money. So we got a big slate, 5 games. Let's get right to it. Like we do, we'll go in rotation order. That means 625, 626. Opened up -2.5 for the Sparks. We've seen a big move already. It's 5.5 now at most shops. Total open 178.5, and it's holding steady at about. Actually, no. I see. We'll call it 178. It's between. We'll call 178 the consensus. As far as who is available, nobody on the injury report for the Sparks. For the Wings, though, I do see Paige game time. Looks like she's listed as probable. Isaiah James, same thing. And Enrique Agumbawale is out. Looking at this one here, both teams are well rested. I mean, everybody had yesterday off. It's a chance for the Wings to get some double-digit in-season revenge. They did just win their last game versus the Fever as an underdog. No Enrique, and look what happens, Rob Veno. Can they do it again here versus Sparks, who I know desperately need wins in this playoff race?
Yeah, so for me, obviously, and I know you've said the same thing, generally where Sparks games are concerned, it's a one-way ticket at this point in time. We know who they are. They're the same team just about every game except for one slip-up against Golden State where they only scored 59. They're going to score, and they're going to give up plenty of points. Dallas, for a long time, last year and half of this year was the same thing. Defense still questionable, but the scoring has gone down. And I said the other day, Skee, and then I watched the coach's interview. It was lengthy. The head coach, a lot of players, about 45 minutes worth. But what I thought I saw the other day winds up being true is that they're kind of in an experimentation role or mode at this point in time where the starting lineup, every time I go through box scores, seems to change one player or another. Could be due to injury, could be due to how he feels that day. The lineup should be set, but they're not really sure right now who their best starting five even is. So for Dallas at this time of year, I'm not going to say that they're tanking because they're not. They're playing hard, but they are experimenting with minutes, rotations, et cetera, et cetera. Not really good when you're facing a team that absolutely knows their rotations, absolutely knows what they're out there to do in Los Angeles. And for Los Angeles tonight, a victory here, if in fact the Storm were to lose to Atlanta, LA would move right into that 8 spot in the playoffs. We've talked an awful lot about jockeying for seeds in the playoffs. Every day seems to bring games that where playoff implications are involved. This would be one of them. Los Angeles, a little bit of rest here. They're the better team. They say the right things, Dallas. Listening to the coach, yes, we played good defense against Indiana. They held the Fever to 80 points. But he still wants to see 40 minutes of consistent defense. And I'm just not so sure that Dallas can play that type of defense. So I would lean Los Angeles. The line may have gotten away here at 5.5. I don't know that they're 5.5 better than Dallas, to tell you the truth, on the road at this point in time. Not that it can't be done, but I'm just not willing to lay it. And I wasn't willing to play LA team total over 91.5, although I probably should be. It's not something I'm totally adverse to. I could still get there. Maybe that's the way I lean in the end, is LA team total, but I could just as easily see myself playing Dallas team total over, the way that the Sparks give up points. I did it the other night when I played the Liberty against the Sparks. Liberty team total over. Game's going to be played at fast pace. There's options and there's ways to go. I just haven't found the one I like the best yet.
Well, I would ask you, as far as the team total is concerned for the Sparks, are they going to win the game? Because the only time they're staying under is if they lose. And I mean, it's been 90 plus time and time again. These are two of the worst defenses post All-Star. But I don't know, something about this game. Like, here's how I feel about it. The Sparks, like, as much as I love the Sparks offense, you can't be laying with them because they can't play defense. That's just how I feel. That's my philosophy. If I can't trust you to get stops, why would I want you to win by multiple possessions? And the Wings, like, I think you have to pay that premium for the Sparks because Enrique's out. And we joked a little bit before I started the show. I don't think that's a negative for Dallas. I think Dallas is just fine. They just won without her in that last game. So it looks like Paige and Isaiah are both going to play at home. Maybe a little bit of confidence after that win. Maybe they keep it competitive in this game. I'm leaning a little bit more towards Wings at the 5.5 number. And if I think the Wings are in this game, I mean, it's tough, because you mentioned the Wings haven't been scoring like they have been. But, I mean, Sparks can give it up to anybody. Wings can give it up to anybody. It's very hard to look any other way than over in this game.
Yeah, the odds makers are kind of making, they make me second or think about things twice. A 92 to 87 final score would be a really high scoring game, but you're getting there by the narrowest of margins. And 92 to 87, very possible with these two teams. So like I say, they're making me, where Sparks totals used to be 166 about 2 weeks ago. Now we're looking at having to get to 180 every time to get there with them. And there's just some nights, like against Golden State, where it didn't happen, albeit Golden State and Dallas aren't in the same defensive category. They're not in the same style category. But you get my point. They're just making it a little bit more difficult for me to jump as soon as I see the number.
One more thing I'll mention, and you can tell me if you agree. I mean, once Paige and Isaiah are both actually wrote in, upgraded from probable to in, the line is only going to go more towards the Wings, right? You agree this line is going to be going down instead of up?
Yeah, unquestionably, once Paige is announced as in, that's the recognizable name. To us, Isaiah James certainly is a big deal. To the people who chase injuries, I'm not so sure. But yeah, Paige, definitely. It would move back down maybe to 4. And Dallas does have a chance to win the game. I mean, the Sparks, like you say, they'll give it up to anybody, and they can be outscored. They're just they have the motivation angle tonight, Skee, which leads me to believe that they'll win the game.
I'll just say I'll just leave it as a lean for right now. I have my wallet open right now. This show, I'm ready to fire on some stuff, but I'll wait on this one. All right, Valkyries and Chicago opened up -4 for Golden State. Now up to as high as 7.5, mostly sevens though on the road. Total open 151, and we've seen it continue to go down. I'm seeing even 147.5 popping up at a shop. Injury report for Chicago. We know Angel Reese is out. Ariel Atkins and Haley Van Lith look like they're both probable. No Monique Billings, no Maria C for Golden State. Man, I got screwed. Like I said, I had a winning day that last day we were on, but I got screwed on that best bet. Atkins, Rebecca Allen, and Bria Hartley all got thrown out, and those are all the scores. So, one thing I'll say is Atkins and Rebecca Allen should be fresh for this game and ready to put up some shots. They do have to play a Golden State defense, and just like you mentioned, I mean, getting towards the end of the season here, you got to pay that premium on the Sparks total. Right now, Golden State totals are starting to get low. How low can you go? Type of deal. They're more than capable of playing defense. I'm curious which direction you're going in this one.
Normally, Skee, when we talk about games like this, you would say, do you trust the favorite to win by 7.5? And I would say, do you trust the underdog to lose by 8? And maybe I trust the underdog to lose by 8 more than I trust the favorite, because Chicago just doesn't come close, right? They just don't come close. The other night, the ejections were there, like you say, a little bit of a scuffle in the second quarter, took the scorers out. They still lost by 9 to Connecticut. It's just not good for Chicago right now. I don't think Angel Reese really wants to come back and play. I saw a quote from her the other day. Reporter asked her, because the coach keeps hinting that maybe she's on the verge of coming back. And Angel Reese's quote was, "In due time." So in due time could be, I figured that could be 2026 for all I know. So we know they don't score without her. We know they can't defend anybody. So they are potentially in that category of, more. It's probably more favorable to ask yourself the question, can Chicago lose by 8? Lost by 9, lost by 22, lost by 21, lost by 16. Last time they lost by less than this was 73-66 against Golden State, as a matter of fact, as I look right now. They were at home, just as they are here. I don't think the ramifications were as big for Golden State 6-7 games ago as they are now. They've gotten themselves into that 7 spot. And I tell you, if they keep picking up these wins, they're going to firmly plant themselves in the playoff picture. They shot the ball really well in the first quarter the other night. And we've talked often about they love to shoot threes. When they make a decent percentage, they're very hard to beat. And this Chicago offense against a really good defense, I don't know, should have got to the window real early, because this game was as low as 4 when it opened. And I should have known Angel Reese wasn't going to play. I mean, I don't know why I hesitated to jump at 4, but now you're staring at 7.5. Could still be done, but you're getting the bad end of the number here in this case. But Golden State has been on a real string of good basketball lately, other than the one game where Las Vegas lit them up right in the revenge mode.
Yeah, this is probably the toughest game of the day. I think I have to pass this one. I'm trying to give you guys something here, but I know Valkyrie's first half has been good, but I don't feel great about anything here. So we'll move it along, Rob Veno. We'll go to, let's see, we'll move it to Mystics and Fever. That is 629, 630. Opened up -8.5 for Indiana. Hasn't really moved. Total open though 161.5, and I see it. We'll call it 162.5 as a consensus number. One shop is holding a 163 though. Injury report for Washington. There will be no Shakira Austin. There will be no J.C. Sheldon. For Indiana, they continue to play without Caitlin Clark. And just off the back there for this one, Rob, Shakira and J.C. Sheldon, I mean, that sounds like a whole lot less defense to me. So it makes sense to me that the total is moving up in this one. The problem for me, Rob, is the Fever in this point guard situation. I didn't like anything I saw about their, offense against Dallas last game. Odyssey Sims in her first game was just looking like she was trying to feel out how things are going, or trying trying to trying to fit in and trying to figure it out. In the second game, maybe she'll play better. But man, I really want to bet this Mystics. I want to bet Mystics over without those two defenders. It's just, can we trust Indiana's offense? How do you feel about it?
I trusted it, Skee. It was the first bet I made. Their team total in this game, when I bet it, let me just go back. I think it was 82 and a half. I think they needed to get to 83 to cover this game. Might have been 83 and a half. But regardless, I think they'll find their way to 84. You asked the question the other day, are the Mystics tanking? And they keep holding Aaliyah Boston out. JC Sheldon, they trade for her. They don't play her. They get whacked in their last game. Although, let's to be fair to Washington, it's been two really good second half comebacks the last two games. Dallas had them by 11 at the half, and Washington won that game going away. And then Washington played a bad first half their last game. I think it was against Golden State. But to your point about minus the two defenders, they gave up 88 to Golden State. And Golden State shot threes like nobody was guarding them. So the Brittany Sykes trade leaves them void of offensive options, although still they've scored points the last two games without her, without Shakira, without JC Sheldon. I just think Indiana at home. And I'll say one thing. The one thing that put me over the top here was it doesn't always happen, but I feel like we're going to see a little bit here. Stephanie White, the head coach for Indiana, went absolutely nuts after the last game. And she kind of contradicted herself a little bit, but she's all over the referees for the way they officiate Indiana. And one part of her statement was, I think Aaliyah Boston's the worst officiated player in the game. And then 15 seconds later, I think Kelsey Mitchell's the worst officiated player in the game. So they're both, in her mind, the worst officiated players in the game. A lot of times when you do that, you get some calls the next time around. They probably get a couple of calls here. Boston, I'd say that Indiana front line should have their way against Washington without Shakira. I know that the rookie forwards are good, but they're just not let's just say that Shakira Austin does a lot of the bulk work in there. And I think Indiana's just too big, too much size. I think they lead the league in second chance points. I could see a lot of rebound scores there. So I trusted one thing in this game. It was the Indiana offense. That kind of answers the question that you asked me to begin with. I think they get over their team total. And from there, you just have to decide what you think Washington's going to do against a, not so great Indiana defense.
Yeah, and another thing, Indiana, they've been playing some zone, or they've been playing a lot of zone lately. They'll probably do it again, but Washington, we'll have some shooters out there, especially, no Shakira Austin. Now you're going to start Dolson. She's willing to pop the three.
Right.
Sonia Citron can shoot. Shug is out there. She can. It's shooters out there. So I do think the total is moving in the right direction for this game. As far as the side is concerned, I don't feel as strong. I think the total, just rock with the total for this one. Anything on the side, or ready to move along?
We just know that Indiana needs help, right? They're 18-15. They're in that log jam for one of the final playoff spots. So at home, off a loss, you would think they'd be motivated. Winning by 8.5 is another story. But we'll see. I didn't bet it. I'm in on their team total over.
All right, Rob, going with the team total for the Fever. Let's keep it going here. We have two more games left to talk about. Next up is 6:31, 6:32. Las Vegas Aces heading into Phoenix to take on the Mercury. Opened up -3.5, and it looks like 4.5 is the current number for the Mercury. Total open 166.5, and I see it as high as 169. Let's take a glance at the injury report. I don't think there's too much going on here. Nobody on the injury report for Phoenix, and pretty much nobody on the injury report for Aces. Cheyenne Parker Tice hasn't played yet, So this is a chance for the Mercury to bounce back after that. I feel like that was a terrible, terrible loss to the Dream. It's been a little bit since they played. I think they've had four days off, maybe 5 days off, something like that. But it was bad. They didn't even reach 70 points. And I just remember, I don't know, when I was looking at them play, I just felt disgusted with what Phoenix was putting on the court. I get it. The Dream have been playing good, but it's a chance for them to bounce back from that. We know they're still up there in the standings. They need some wins just like everybody else, but they're facing the Aces team who has won 5 in a row here, Rob Veno. They're finally putting things together and stringing together some wins. So, the first thing I'm going to ask is the Aces are playing so good. They won 5 in a row, but they're here and they're the underdog. Um, do you think the Mercury are favorites for a reason in this one? Or are you more looking at the total, and agreeing with it moving up? I know you're not betting this game under.
You don't bet this one under, although I think the first two that they played against one another stayed under this number. The first one, Asia Wilson did not play, was a 76-70 game. It was Kalea Copper's first game back from injury. That was back early in the season. And then they played again, and they got to 165, 84, 81. Las Vegas win, everybody healthy. I got to tell you, I bet this one. I bet it quickly, but I bet it a lot on intuition. Just a feeling that I had that Phoenix is going to come to play here. I bet the Phoenix side. I go back, and I could be absolutely wrong. And I may be nitpicking the Las Vegas win streak. But again, you got the Liberty on back-to-backs. And and one more time, Natasha Cloud wants to moan about having to play back-to-back. I remember when she thought it was too quick to come back from the All-Star game, and then it was, oh, here we go. We have to play 2 within 24 hours. And she goes out and gets like 6 points. But they got to play New York on back-to-backs. Okay, scheduling advantage, Las Vegas. They played Connecticut. Okay, Connecticut stinks. Game was at home. Only win by 8 points, though, give up 86. Played Seattle, won by 4, but Seattle has also lost 6 in a row, playing their worst basketball of the season. Beat Golden State, and then beat Golden State a couple times in a row. The first one was off of the massive 53-point loss to Minnesota, so they had some revenge. So 4 of those 5 games, I don't know, could be just me, but I kind of justify as well. Las Vegas had a built-in advantage. I don't know that they have a built-in advantage here. Phoenix is still in this playoff hunt and trying to hang on to one of the top 4 seeds. And Phoenix has had, as you mentioned, 4-5 days off. And I just think that does wonders for them. I think that their front line can hold up against Asia Wilson and Las Vegas and probably be better. And, off of last game, again, we've said it a few times now, but this Jewel Lloyd coming off the bench deal has provided benefits for Las Vegas. Is she going to continue to shoot the way she shot the other night? I'm not sure. We did see Becky Hammond make a change in the starting lineup. I talked about why is Kirsten Bell even in the starting lineup. She wasn't last game. They switched over to Dana Evans. I think Phoenix is the better team still, Skee. I think Las Vegas is way too dependent upon 3 players, and I think Phoenix has a lot of rest and motivation here. So, again, there was a lot of intuition built up into this, not a lot of statistical, technical, that type of stuff in this analysis, but I do think Phoenix is the right side here.
It's tough to go against that. It's tough to go against that. Phoenix, every time I bet them, they let me down.
How about the Aces?
It's the same thing. Same thing, both of these teams. So maybe this is when I need to sit on the sideline. Or maybe just look at the total. This game is important for both teams. I'm trying to look really quick. Post All-Star, we have Aces, our 10th defensive rated team. Just like I thought I was going to say, can I trust the Aces defense? No, the answer is always no. Mercury, though, number 3 defensive rated team. It's been the offense that's been slacking for them. If I'm liking the Mercury, I do trust them to play defense. That's been the most consistent thing there. Pace-wise, Mercury's been more up-tempo. They're 4th. Aces are 9th. It's a little bit tough. I think this is one I don't see an immediate advantage. Like a lot of times I look at the board, especially with 5 games, and see things jumping off the board to me. But today, I don't know. I'm trying to dodge those bombs today.
It's just as important.
Just as important, yeah. All right, we have one more game. One more game here, Vino. That is going to be 6:33, 6:34. Seattle and Atlanta. Opened up -1.5 for the Dream. 1.5 or two, depending where you actually. I see some 2.5s out there, so it's all over the place. We'll call two the consensus. Total open 161.5. Seeing it as low as 159.5. As far as injuries are concerned, nobody on the report for Seattle. Jordan Canada, I believe they said she's going to be out for like 2 weeks. So the Dream will be without her once again. These teams did just play on Wednesday. And like I said earlier, I was really, I mean, we had a good cap together too on the Dream team total over, but I was really proud of my cap on the Dream in general. And it kind of helped with the team total because the full game did not go over.
Right.
The full game, I think, got hooked or you lost by 1.5. But I'll just, I'll read some of these things again. The Dream, and this game is being played. Actually, I said it's in Atlanta, but I think this is an overseas game, if I'm not mistaken.
It's in Vancouver, in Canada.
Okay, Vancouver. So not a true home game for either team. Um, my first inclination when I hear stuff like that is they would like to have everybody see points be scored, but that's just how I think. What I'm going to say here is the Dream are now 7-2 this season without Jordan Canada. They've beaten this Storm team twice without her this season, and post All-Star, I'm pretty sure this hasn't changed. Seattle is number one in paint attempts, and Atlanta is number one in paint field goal percentage allowed. So they're good at defending the paint, and that's all Seattle wants to do is go try to get inside and shoot layups. And this is why I was proud of my cap because I literally wrote this in my play. It says while the Storm Force 2 is the Dream gonna be letting it fly from deep, and that's all we saw. I mean, especially the corner three. They allowed the highest corner three percentage post All-Star, and the Dream, especially to end that third quarter, just lighting it up.
Ryan Howard.
Ryan Reggie Miller Howard.
Yeah. I think she scored 9 points in like 20 seconds or something.
I was loving it. I was going crazy. And Seattle, they haven't been very good getting to the free throw line. I think they're the second worst in free throw attempts. That should improve with Brittany Sykes, but hasn't improved enough lately. In Atlanta, they're number one at getting to the line. So it was a lot of advantages for Atlanta. What's going to change here, Rob Veno, in his second game within one day? It's hard. The Storm, they got two bigs over there for the Dream. You can't just go in there and pound in the paint or try to force everything in the paint. And we know the Dream are going to splash from three unless they just have a terrible shooting night. So to me, it sounds like over again or Dream again.
Well, let's say this about the total, and the reason why I'm not on this game total wise, and if I had to, maybe I would be on under, is the venue is just not common. Very unfamiliar venue for these teams. Nobody has shot at these rims. Who knows? It is an arena where the background shouldn't be that much of an effect, but still, it's a new gym or a new floor, new rims, new everything. So that kind of scares me off of full game total, but still, you could go out there and score 180. The second thing is Vancouver really does support Seattle teams. But when I asked the question, I was on a show previous to coming on with you today, Skee, where the host is from Vancouver. And I said, you guys are probably going to have a full arena tonight, right? You said, no, it won't be a full arena. Vancouver doesn't. They follow the Seahawks rapidly. They follow the Mariners. They follow the hockey team. I'll throw the chat a bone. They follow the Kraken, the hockey team, religiously, but they don't necessarily get behind the Storm. So if you're in an arena where it's maybe half packed, maybe the walk-up crowd will be decent. I'm not sure. And we're just going to match up personnel on both sides. Why would you not play Atlanta? It's just no reason not to play Atlanta. The only thing you could really have for a reason, and it's half of a reason. It's not really even a reason. Well, Seattle's lost 6 in a row. They need it. Well, they needed the other 6 too. and they couldn't get there. And I saw on Twitter, and we'll mention our friend and colleague, UCapper, right in the Seattle area, who said if they don't win this game tonight, this was at halftime. I saw his little comment on X, which said if Seattle doesn't win this game, Coach Quinn has to go. And when you're in that kind of stage, in that funk, it's not easy to climb out of, and it's not easy to climb out of against a good team like this. Atlanta has faced adversity after adversity after adversity, and they've come through to the point where they're the number 2 seed in the league right now. And they know New York goes to Minnesota tomorrow. They win here, they'll still be in the 2 spot, even if New York wins tomorrow. So I would look at Atlanta in this game, Skee. I don't think that the venue helps Seattle at all. I thought it might, but when I asked the question, I found out it probably doesn't bring a vocal crowd to Seattle's defense here to help out at all. Like you said before, unless Atlanta has a miserable shooting night from distance, they probably win. And we need to note they brought Brittany Griner off the bench the other night. Brianna Jones has been playing so well. She was the starting center the other night. So when you have Griner coming off the bench, to your point about bigs, Atlanta's got a lot of size at the rim. So I would look that way if I had to.
All right, we agree on this one. I think the chat just wants to bet for Quinn to be fired.
Okay, they're on that
consensus for tonight. Oh man!
Oh, real quick, Skee, it forced me that win the other day. Just to add to it, made me go and look at the Dream's odds to win the title. I found 12-1 with the Dream, and so I had to take a little bit of that because if any, I know Minnesota and New York, when healthy, are probably the 2 best teams on paper, but Atlanta doesn't seem to back down from anything. And if there's one of these teams, I know you got a little bit of Phoenix earlier. They're kind of the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta found their way into a title matchup here the way they're playing right now. They've got players.
Yeah, I like Atlanta a lot. I like the way they play. So I'm not mad at that at all. All right, Veno, we made it to the end of the show. That means it is best bet time. Before we get to that, I'll just ask you if there's anything you would like to promote. And if you do have a best bet for the show, feel free to share. If you do not, it's all good.
Quick promotion. I will say that, we do a basketball show here, so I should obviously talk about basketball, but football season does begin in earnest next week. Next Thursday, we have college football. So if any of you are looking to get on board season packages in college football, hop over to Wager Talk. You can see my link underneath. Last year, I had a tremendous final 10, 11 weeks of the college football season. Did a lot of work this offseason, so ready to roll here. Go over to wagertalk.com. And also, while you're there, pick up your free 7-day subscription to Odds Logic. Again, if you want to stay on top of injuries, want to stay on top of weather, want to stay on top of the odds, the line movements, no better place to do it than Odds Logic. And you can get 7 days for free. So go over to wagertalk.com, find both of those there. Best bet, Skee. I'm going to go back to the middle game we talked about. I just think Indiana's going to push 90 points tonight. I think the total was, in fact, it was 82.5 when I bet it. Let me give an official number right now as we talk. Indiana's team total. Well, I seem to have a delay here for whatever reason, but I do believe it was 80. Oh, here we go. No, I was wrong when I was talking about this. That number right now is 85.5. So you need to get to 86. I bet it at 84.5. So that was my mistake when I was quoting 82.5 earlier. I feel like they pushed 90 here. So Indiana team total up and over 85.5 for the best bet.
All right, good stuff from Veno there. I'll just a quick reminder that we do have 7-day all access for $69. So less than $10 per day. You can get 7 days all access. And to what Rob Veno said, I had a good college football and NFL last year. I think 20-something units for the season combined for both. So I am going to have a play in that week 1. I'm guaranteed going to have a play. I already know what it is. I'm just waiting to put it up. And that's college football I'm talking about. Best bet for the show. I'm gonna stick to the same kind of thing we've been doing here. It's been working. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you're telling me Indiana's gonna score, I think Washington's gonna score too. It is less defense on the court for them, but you also add a little bit more shooting and spacing, and that's going to help, especially if the Fever think they're going to play zone in this game. They'll shoot them right out of it. So 162 and a half looks like the total for this one. That's what I'll use as my best bet for the show. Vino, man, this is killing me. Mark, man, I like Rabikina today, but if I don't say it right, it's Rabikina, one of the two. I think it's Rabikina though. But she was serving so good the last time I saw her, and I just thought she was in a good rhythm. But I very rarely will bet against Sabalenka, but I, I thought about it today. I'll say that. I just I, I don't go against Sabalenka or Ravino.
Well, I'm so happy to see that because I'm not an avid tennis follower, but my favorite women's tennis player, simply because of her demeanor on court, is Elena Rybakina. And to see her winning today against, the world's number one is good for me to see. She's had some difficulty. She's been through like 3 coaches in the last couple of years, I know, and some of her play has been unsteady. But to see her back and performing like that against world number one is pretty nice.
Absolutely. Man, let me get back over there and watch some of these tennis matches. All right, Vino, it's been great breaking down these games with you this week. We'll be back on Monday, I believe. If there's no game on Monday. I don't think there's a game. Uh I'm not
Yeah,
sure. If there's a game on Monday, we'll be here.
I think it's
But
the even number days. They're kind of like taking off here, and the odd number days are having a lot of games. So I did look ahead in the schedule. We might not have a game on Monday.
yeah, I don't think we do. So then that'll be Tuesday. We'll be back here breaking these games down. We appreciate everybody in the chat. Everybody just trying to help each other win. And yeah, I agree with this too. Let's get it. I think Coco will win, but it's a hefty price you got to pay. Shout out to everybody out there on Twitch, X, YouTube Shorts, Kick, um, Apple, Spotify. We appreciate you all. We'll talk to you guys next week. Best of luck on all your bets until then.